All right. Let's dive into some Thai real estate today.
Sounds good.
We're going to be looking specifically at buying property in Phuket.
Phuket. Okay.
And that's Phuket, not Phuket.
Right. Right.
Our source today is a really interesting article from Ocean Worldwide,
Oh, yeah. Ocean Worldwide.
which is a luxury real estate agency that's been in Phuket since 2004.
Wow. Yeah, they've been around for a while.
So they definitely know their stuff when it comes to the Thai property market.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think one of the biggest decisions you'll face as a buyer is this whole freehold versus leasehold ownership question.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And Sandra lays it out really clearly in this article. So for someone who's totally new to this, could you just break down what those terms actually mean?
Sure. So freehold is the most straightforward one, I think. You just own the property outright permanently. It's
Okay.
yours to do with as you please. You could sell it, renovate it, pass it down your kids, whatever you want.
So maximum security and flexibility.
exactly.
But Thailand has some pretty unique laws, right? Especially when it comes to foreigners owning property.
Yeah.
How does that affect freehold ownership?
That's where it gets a little interesting. Foreigners can own condos freehold,
Okay.
but there's this thing called the 49% rule.
Oh, I've heard of that.
So in any given condo building, only 49% of the total unit space can be foreign owned.
Oh.
The remaining 51% has to belong to Thai nationals.
I see.
So that can create some competition.
Yeah, I imagine so, for those freehold condos especially.
Definitely something to keep in mind, yeah.
And what about land ownership?
Land is even trickier. So foreigners generally can't own land freehold in Thailand.
So that dream of like the sprawling Thai estate,
Yeah, not going to
it's
have.
a little bit out of reach.
Directly, yeah.
Directly, yeah.
But there are ways to sort of secure a long-term presence through leasehold arrangements, which brings us to our second ownership model.
All right, leasehold. So that sounds kind of like renting, but for like a much longer period.
Exactly. You can think of it as a long-term rental agreement, usually for 30 years.
Okay.
And you have the right to use the property, even make some modifications, but you don't own the land itself.
So it's kind of like a good option if you're not looking to settle down permanently.
Yeah.
Maybe more for vacation homes or shorter stays.
Yeah, that's one scenario where it can be very attractive.
Right.
But even if you're thinking long-term, leasehold can be a viable option, especially given the restrictions on freehold for foreigners.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
So both freehold and leasehold have their place in the Thai market.
definitely.
And Sandra's article really digs into the pros and cons of each. So let's unpack that a little bit, maybe starting with freehold.
Okay.
So aside from, owning a piece of paradise forever, what are some of the big advantages of going freehold?
Well, one major plus is capital appreciation.
Oh.
Thailand's real estate market has seen pretty consistent growth historically.
Right.
So if you own a freehold property, you're potentially looking at a really good return on investment down the line.
So not only do you have that, dream property, but it could actually increase in value over time.
Exactly. And with freehold, you have complete control. You can renovate, sell whenever you want, even leave the property to your heirs without any complications.
Right. Total freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, so freehold sounds pretty good, but it probably comes with a pretty hefty price tag, right?
Yeah, it can.
Where's some of the downsides?
Yeah, so the initial investment is definitely higher for freehold,
Okay.
especially in desirable locations.
Of course, of course.
And then you've got additional expenses, transfer fees, land apartment taxes, all that stuff.
Right, so it all adds up.
It can add up. Yeah,
So you need to be prepared to shell out quite a bit more upfront.
yeah, you do.
Okay. And I guess also that 49% rule for condos, that can be a factor too.
Right. Finding available freehold units within that quota can be very competitive.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, so freehold, great for security, long-term investment, and flexibility. But it comes with a higher price tag, and then you have those potential challenges with availability.
Especially for foreign buyers.
Especially for foreign buyers, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's look at leasehold.
Okay.
What makes this option appealing?
Well, the most obvious advantage is affordability.
Okay.
Leasehold properties generally require a much lower initial investment compared to freehold.
Right, so it's more accessible for a lot of people.
Much more accessible, yeah.
Especially, I guess, first-time buyers or those who aren't ready to commit a huge chunk of change.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's great if you value flexibility. Maybe you're not sure how long you'll be in Thailand or you want a vacation home just for a few months out of the year. 30 years could be a perfect fit.
Right. And from what we discussed earlier, it sounds like leasehold might be the easier path for foreigners who want a house or land.
It can be, yeah.
Okay.
Because you're not directly owning the land, so you avoid those freehold restrictions. So it opens up more possibilities, especially for those looking for properties in prime locations.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so leasehold, more budget-friendly, flexible, and potentially easier for foreigners to navigate.
Yeah, it ticks a lot of boxes.
But I'm sure there are drawbacks.
There are.
What are some of the potential downsides that buyers should be aware of?
Well, one thing to remember is that you have limited ownership rights with a leasehold.
Okay.
So any major modifications usually require the lessor's approval.
Okay.
And you're also bound by the terms of that lease agreement.
So it's kind of like staying in somebody's amazing vacation home. You
Right.
get to enjoy it, but you got to follow their rules.
Exactly.
Right. What about when that lease term comes to an end?
That's a good question.
What happens then?
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
Lease renewals aren't guaranteed, and even if they are, the terms can change,
Oh, okay.
especially if property values have increased since you signed the original lease.
Right. So there's a level of uncertainty there
There is, yeah.
that you wouldn't have with freehold.
Right.
Okay. So you might be rolling the dice a little bit with your long-term planning.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. And I guess another thing is that the value of a leasehold property depreciates as the lease term gets closer to its end.
That's right.
So you might not see the same capital appreciation potential as with freehold.
Exactly.
Okay, so leasehold may be better for short-term stays or those who prioritize affordability and accessibility.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But the lack of ownership rights and that potential for tricky renewals,
Mm-hmm.
those are definitely factors to consider.
Big factors.
Yeah.
And I think this is where Sandra's expertise really shines through in this article. It's not about declaring one option better than the other.
All right.
It's about understanding your own needs and priorities.
Mm-hmm.
Do you value long-term security and control above all else?
Right.
Or are you looking for a more affordable, flexible entry point to the market?
So it really boils down to aligning your choice with your personal goals and circumstances.
Exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to this.
Right.
It's about making an informed decision that fits your unique vision for your Thai property experience.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, before we delve further into some of the practical considerations for buyers,
Sure.
there's one more aspect Sandra highlights that I think will be particularly interesting for our listeners.
Okay.
She mentions potential changes to foreign ownership regulations in Thailand.
Oh, wow.
Let's explore that when we come back after a quick break.
Sounds good. So welcome back to our deep dive on Thai property.
Yeah, before the break, we were kind of comparing freehold and leasehold ownership,
Right.
weighing the pros and cons of each.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears a little bit and talk about something that I think is often overlooked,
Okay.
especially when we're all caught up in the excitement of buying property,
Right.
inheritance,
Ah, yes.
right? Thinking about what happens to the property after you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Not always the most cheerful topic,
Not the most fun, no?
but it's crucial to consider,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially when you're making a significant investment like this.
Absolutely. And Sandra brings up a really key point in her article.
Okay.
The inheritance process can be vastly different depending on whether you own the property freehold or leasehold.
So let's start with freehold.
Okay.
So if someone owns a property outright
Mm-hmm.
and wants to pass it on to their heirs,
Mm-hmm.
how does that work in Thailand?
With freehold, it's relatively straightforward.
Okay.
You can specify your wishes in a will,
Mm-hmm.
and the property will just be transferred to your beneficiaries. Fairly seamless process.
Okay, so peace of mind for those who want to make sure their loved ones inherit their Thai property
Exactly.
without any hassle.
Yes.
But leasehold inheritance is a different story.
It is a different story.
Okay, so when a leaseholder passes away, the lease rights don't automatically transfer to their heirs.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not as simple as inheriting a freehold property.
Not quite. No.
That's something I wouldn't have even thought of.
It's a common misconception.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Some lease agreements might include clauses that allow for succession,
Okay.
but it's not a given.
So it's not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed, right?
So proactive planning is essential,
Very important.
especially with leasehold properties.
Yeah, you want to make sure everything's in order
Right.
to avoid any potential complications for your family down the line.
Exactly. And this is where seeking legal advice from experts who specialize in Thai property law
Yes.
becomes so invaluable.
Absolutely. Essential. Yeah. They can guide you through all the complexities.
Right.
Make sure your wishes are legally sound
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately give you that peace of mind.
Great advice. It's always better to be safe than sorry,
Yes, definitely.
especially when you're dealing with legal matters in a foreign country.
For sure.
Now, Sanders' article also offers some really practical tips for anyone who's kind of navigating the Thai property market.
Right.
Can you share some of those insights?
Of course.
Yeah.
One thing she stresses is that buying property goes beyond just the initial purchase price. Okay.
You've also got ongoing maintenance costs.
Right. Those hidden costs can really sneak up on you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Property taxes, potential repairs, homeowner association fees,
Mm-hmm.
even something as simple as landscaping.
Right.
All adds up.
Yeah, you got to factor all that stuff in.
Yeah, you got to factor those ongoing expenses into your budget from the beginning.
So don't just focus on the sticker price.
No,
Think about that long-term financial commitment.
that's right.
Okay. Good advice. And another crucial factor she highlights is location, location, location.
Oh, that old chestnut.
As relevant in Thailand as anywhere else.
It's all about finding that sweet spot right.
Yes,
Close enough to the action, but maybe not right in the heart of the hustle and bustle.
exactly. She recommends carefully evaluating a property's proximity to essential services,
Okay.
transportation links, the general vibe of the neighborhood,
Mm.
and of course, safety considerations.
So due diligence is key.
Very important.
It's not just about falling in love with a beautiful property. It's about assessing the practicality of living there.
Exactly.
Long term.
Long term, yeah.
And finally, Sandra encourages buyers to be savvy negotiators.
Oh, yes.
It's not just about haggling over the price. Think about the terms and conditions, down payments, closing costs,
Right.
even the inclusion of fixtures or appliances.
Oh, those little details.
Yeah, so it's about understanding the fine print,
Mm-hmm.
being strategic during those negotiations.
Absolutely.
Okay, great advice. A little bit of negotiation savvy can go a long way.
It can. It can.
Okay, now before we wrap up, let's circle back to that topic we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
Potential changes to foreign ownership regulations in Thailand.
Right.
This is something that could have a huge impact on the market.
Absolutely. So the Thai government has been considering adjustments to foreign ownership quotas,
Okay.
particularly for condominiums.
Okay.
So right now, foreigners can own up to 49% of the total space in a condo building.
Right, right.
There's talk of potentially increasing that quota.
Oh, wow. So possibly opening up more opportunities for foreign buyers.
It could.
That could be a game changer.
It could be a big one, yeah. The government sees it as a way to attract more foreign investment,
Okay.
stimulate the economy.
Right.
But any changes to these regulations would definitely have ripple effects throughout the market.
So let's play that out a little bit.
Okay.
If the foreign ownership quota is increased, what are some potential scenarios we might see?
Well, the most likely outcome is a surge in demand,
Okay.
especially in popular locations like Phuket, Bangkok.
Mm-hmm.
More buyers competing for a limited supply could push property values up.
So current owners might benefit from a boost in their property's value.
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
But it could also make it even harder for new buyers to enter the market.
Exactly. It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
We might also see developers focusing more on projects that cater specifically to foreign buyers,
Okay.
especially in those sought-after areas.
Interesting. Are there any other potential outcomes we should consider?
Well, on the flip side, if stricter regulations were to be implemented, maybe limiting foreign ownership even further,
Right.
it could have a cooling effect on the market.
So less volatility, potentially more stable prices.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's all about understanding the potential impacts
Yeah.
and being prepared for different scenarios.
Right.
And Sanders' advice on this is spot on. Stay informed.
Yeah. Knowledge is power, as they say.
Exactly. So how can someone stay ahead of the curve when it comes to these legal developments?
Well, there are a few ways.
Okay.
Connect with reputable legal experts who specialize in Thai property law.
Okay.
Stay updated through reliable real estate agencies like Ocean Worldwide. They're often the first to know about these shifts.
Right.
And participate in online forums and communities where people are sharing insights and news about the market.
Great tips. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's go back to that fundamental question.
Okay.
Freehold versus leasehold.
Mm-hmm.
Which one comes out on top?
That's the thing. There's no clear winner. It all comes down to your individual circumstances, priorities, and long-term goals.
It's about finding that perfect fit for your unique situation.
Exactly. So if you prioritize long-term security, potential capital appreciation, complete control over your property,
Right.
and you're comfortable with a higher upfront investment,
Okay.
freehold might be the ideal path.
So freehold is like planting your flag in Thailand and saying, this is mine.
Exactly. But if you're drawn to affordability, flexibility, and potentially easier access to properties,
Okay.
understanding that you're not seeking permanent ownership,
Right.
then leasehold could be a more suitable choice.
It really highlights the importance of doing your research,
Yes,
weighing those pros and cons carefully,
absolutely.
and ultimately making an informed decision that aligns with your vision for your Thai property journey.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And as we've emphasized throughout this deep dive,
Yeah.
seeking expert advice from lawyers specializing in Thai property law is
Yes.
an invaluable step.
Absolutely crucial. They can help you navigate the complexities, make sure you're making legally sound decisions,
Right.
and ultimately guide you towards achieving your property ownership goals in beautiful Thailand.
Great advice. We've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from understanding the legal landscape
Mm-hmm.
to exploring the nuances of freehold and leasehold,
Right.
and even peeking into the future of Thailand's property regulations.
It's a fascinating market.
But before we conclude our deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought from Sandra herself.
Okay?
Let's hear her parting wisdom as we head into our final segment.
Sounds good. Welcome back.
So we've been talking a lot about like the nuts and bolts of buying property in Thailand.
Right, the ins and outs, the legal stuff.
Yeah, freehold, leasehold, all those terms.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think it's important to step back for a minute and remember why someone might be drawn to buying property in Thailand in the first place.
Oh, absolutely.
It's about more than just the legalities and finances, wouldn't you say?
For sure. I mean, owning property in Thailand, whether it's a stylish condo in Bangkok or a peaceful villa overlooking the ocean in Phuket,
Right.
it's really about embracing a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's about experiencing a vibrant culture
Mm-hmm.
and creating a haven that reflects your dreams.
Yeah, it's that feeling of finding your own little slice of paradise.
Exactly.
And that's what I really appreciate about Sandra's article.
Mm.
She doesn't just lay out the facts and figures.
Right.
She reminds us of that emotional aspect,
Yeah.
the allure that draws so many people to Thailand.
It's that feeling of possibility.
Right.
Of connecting with something truly special.
Yeah.
And whether you're drawn to the permanence of freehold or the flexibility of leasehold, that emotional connection is what makes this journey so rewarding.
Absolutely. It's about finding a place that resonates with your soul.
Mm-hmm.
So for our listeners who are maybe, ready to embark on this adventure,
Yeah.
what final words of wisdom would you offer?
I would say embrace the journey. Do your research, explore different areas, connect with reputable experts, and most importantly, trust your instincts.
Okay.
Thailand's property market is dynamic, it's exciting,
Yeah.
and with the right approach, you can find that perfect piece of paradise that calls to you.
And don't forget to savor every moment of the experience right.
Oh, for sure.
It's a chance to immerse yourself in a new culture, explore breathtaking landscapes, and create memories that will last a lifetime.
Absolutely. Whether you envision yourself strolling along pristine beaches,
Yeah.
exploring ancient temples, or simply enjoying the warmth and hospitality of the Thai people, let your heart guide you to the place that feels like home.
Beautifully said. Owning property in Thailand is a privilege.
It is.
And with careful planning and a sense of adventure, it can be one of the most fulfilling experiences of your life.
It really can.
And remember, as Sandra so wisely reminds us,
Yes.
thorough research and expert advice are your best allies in navigating the vibrant Thai property market.
Couldn't agree more.
So there you have it, folks. We've delved deep into the world of Thai property,
We have.
explored the ins and outs of freehold and leasehold, and hopefully equipped you with the knowledge and insights you need to make informed decisions.
That's our goal.
Whether you're just starting your research or you're ready to take the plunge,
Yeah.
remember to approach this journey with curiosity, a sense of adventure, and a willingness to embrace the unique beauty and possibilities that Thailand has to offer.
Well said.
And with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive.
Another one down.
We hope you found this exploration insightful, inspiring,
Yeah.
and perhaps even a little bit tempting. Go forth, do your due diligence,
Yes.
and may your Thai property dreams become a beautiful reality.
Cheers to that.
Until next time, happy exploring.
Happy exploring.
All right.